The Warframe Kullervo has many parallels and similarities with Kullervo from the Kalevala of Finnish poetry. We know that the original frames were humans transformed into Warframes using the infestation. Some of them had family, happiness, a life before it was ripped from them. Not Kullervo. He never got that chance. He was stolen from his family and sold into slavery as a child. Then he underwent the horrifying transformation into a Warframe. Kullervo killed an Orokin in attempt of gaining the favor and admiration of an executor, his daddy, Balas. What was the reward for this? It earned him his first crime, murder. During the Old War, the Orokin began to destroy other Warframes. However, Kullervo did nothing to aid them, and thus earned his second crime, cowardice. While the executors tried to detain him, he accidentally killed Archimedean Ainiki, his mother, the only person who cared for him. Kullervo earned his third crime, flight from custody. During the Old War, he acquired several more crimes: treason, espionage, treason, and attempted regicide against Balas. According to one of the poems that you hear from the children around Duviri, Kullervo also tried to self-delete himself.
Kullervo, Kullervo, long did he weep. In his own breast his sword drove deep, down to the dark and unmerciful sleep. Kullervo, Kullervo, your secrets we keep. Shh.
Kullervo received his imprisonment and his punishment. Kullervo arrived in Duviri in a ball of fire, which then formed the island, Kullervo's hold, which is in fact Kullervo's own guilty conscience manifested. He suffered in the origin system, and now he suffers in Duviri as well. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to see more content from me. Greetings everyone, my name is Exhale and today I wanted to showcase the most tragic yet strongest Warframe, at least in my opinion, in Warframe. Let's go over his kit. Kullervo's passive is boosting his heavy attack efficiency and the wind-up speed on all melee weapons, which will be really good for us, because we want that heavy attack bonus there. His first ability is Wrathful Advance, which is basically giving us melee critical chance wherever we are pressing it. So what you can do is either you teleport to the target and do damage against them, or even one-shotting them, or you can teleport wherever you wish. So it's technically a like a movement ability. I usually use it as a movement ability. I rarely use it to kill any enemy with it. The other thing when I'm using it is to refresh the duration of this ability, because we have around 15 seconds duration, almost 15 seconds, which is a pretty good duration. And during this time we receive 498% melee critical chance, which will basically shoot us straight into the red crit area, and this is one of his strongest ability. It's similar to the blink in Dishonored. I mean, it looks like that whenever you are hovering or like holding it down to teleport. So this is, kind of a cool ability. Now the second ability is Recompense, which is basically there are daggers around us hovering, and we damage enemies with it and generate us overguard, because Kullervo doesn't have any shields, so he only has HP and overguard, and this is the ability that's giving us immortality. And the overguard is really good because it's giving us knockback down resistance, which, you know, if you don't have the primed sure-footed, then this is one way to gain it. And it will be really important. I'm gonna, you know, say later down the line why is this so important for the build. The third ability is also actually really strong, the collective curse, because you link together enemies, and whatever one enemy suffers, the rest of them will suffer. But I'm actually using another method or another way to, you know, basically do the exact same thing as this ability would do. So I wouldn't really use this one. Actually, I don't use this ability at all. And his fourth ability is the Storm of Ukko, which is basically a dagger storm in an area. You can build around this as well, but I don't really find this one that, you know, useful or impactful. During defenses, I usually use it, or whenever, you know, we have to defend a certain area or a extractor, it can be whatever. But I don't think this ability is that strong. The other main thing, I'm using it because it's costing me 100 energy, and my companion has the duplex bond, so, you know, I can just copy my companion pretty easily, because the other abilities doesn't cost you that much. This is 50 energy and this is 25 only, so it's not really needed. Now let's check out his mods. Kullervo's main thing that you will need a lot is ability strength, because ability strength will increase or enhance our first ability, so we can deal even more critical damage. So the aura should be corrosive projection, because it's better than the steel charge. Because even though steel charge is giving you melee, you know, melee damage, and this is a heavy melee build, it's pretty much just a melee build. But this one is all around better for you and for the entire squad. Now the Exilus should obviously be power drift, since, you know, we don't need prime sure-footed because we have overguard, and 15% additional ability strength, which is good enough. I also grabbed Equilibrium because this is always in my builds, but I don't think Kullervo needs it that badly. Also, you can see it's only rank 8, but once again, I'm just gonna explain, because I explained it in the last video. I need to pay almost the same amount for the last 2 ranks as I would need to pay for the rank 8, and it doesn't give me double bonuses. So definitely I am, you know, on the loss here, but I want to spare a few resources. We also have primed continuity and primed flow. Once again, I don't think these ones would matter that much. You could even go, you know, more ability strength instead of these, because although the duration is kinda useful, but the primed flow, I mean, the energy is 566. Actually, we do need the energy at 500 at least, and we're gonna discuss that later as well. We also have stretch with ability range. This will once again affect the dagger's range on, you know, what radius it can reach the enemies, and also your teleport. And we have triple umbral mods, which once again I'm gonna explain a bit later. So we have the armor mod, we have the strength mod, and the vitality mod. And the last mod is, and this is the crucial part of the build, which is not that old mod, it was released around the summertime. It's the volatile recompense mod. This is what makes Kullervo immortal, basically, because what used to happen before without this mod, your daggers, you know, hit their target, and that's it. The daggers are essentially dead. And also, if you didn't hit anyone with the daggers, you would take damage. But with this mod, the daggers, you know, don't go away. So the daggers are constantly up for 25 seconds. They also deal blast damage. And, you know, as soon as your overguard drops down, the daggers immediately activate. So you have that 1 or 2 second, you know, like immortality window. And you just constantly just gonna bump up, you know, your overguard, and as soon as you lose your overguard, the daggers are immediately just gonna bump it up again. So you have constantly, you just basically cannot die. If you would die, then it doesn't matter what frame you are playing, you would have died anyways. So yeah, these are the mods. The Arcane Bellicose should be the must in my opinion. We gain ability strength based on the health points we have. And this is why it's so important that we run triple umbral mods, because it buffs our HP. Now I'm actually, you know, what is this, 21 HP away from actually maxing out Arcane Bellicose, which I should probably do, but I didn't, because, you know, I want to keep this mod at rank 8. And the other reason why this is so good mod, because it activates immediately. So with Molt Augmented, you have to rank up 250 kills. Now this one is immediately activates, and it's also giving you more ability strength. So it's 72% at the max rank, while Molt Augmented would be 60%. So this is why we are running triple umbral mods. Now the other Arcane, I'm running Arcane Truculence, which is whenever I'm, you know, gaining more overguard over the threshold, I release viral status attack around me. I honestly don't think this is that good, so you might switch it out to whatever you feel like switching it out, because you're gonna already one-shot everyone with your weapon. So this is, you know, it's a flexible slot, so you can choose whatever you wish there. And now let's move on to the melee weapon, because, you know, this is a melee weapon build. For melee weapon we have the best, the Xoris. The Xoris is, seriously don't understand how no one talks about the Xoris, because the Xoris is one of the earliest, easiest weapon you can get in your campaign, and it's so goddamn powerful. And no one mentions it, no one talks about it, but Xoris is so goddamn good, especially with Kullervo. And yeah, you kinda need Kullervo for it to work really well. So there are two versions for the Xoris. There is one version which is focused on the combo multiplier things, which is actually stronger, I think, but it's definitely more boring and I don't like it. The other version is Boom Explosion. And I went with the latter one because, you know, it's way more easier to use once you get used to it. And I will also explain how does that, you know, work whenever we are in the gameplay section. So let's check out the mods. So the aura doesn't matter. You can go with whatever you want. You should go with something so, you know, you gain a bit more capacity. But you can go with whatever you want. Exilus is absolutely useless, so nah. Went with Amalgam Organ Shatterer, because more crit damage, and heavy attack wind-up speed, which is really important for us because we want to throw Xoris away as quickly, you know, as we can. Because there is some wind-up time, and we want to reduce that as much as we want, or we can. We also have Galvanized Steel, even more crit chance, and crit damage, which stacks up, so everything that's crit damage or chance we want. We have Killing Blow, which is once more heavy attack wind-up speed, so we can throw it quickly. The Xoris, and we have melee damage on heavy attack, so since we're just gonna go heavy attack, it's, you know, that's what we want. We also have Melee Elementalist, which will increase our status damage, which is really important, and once more heavy attack wind-up speed. We also have Primed Pressure Point for the additional melee damage, which should be up. We have Shocking Touch, which is electricity. Now Xoris is an electric based weapon, so we obviously going to, you know, buff it even further. We have Volatile Quick Return, which is basically increases the Xoris explosion radius, which is good. And we also have whirlwind, so the projectile will go quicker. So once we throw it away, it will be, you know, 180% faster. And the arcane should be melee influence without, you know, doubt. This is obvious. Once more, it's electricity. And this is why I'm not using Kullervo's third ability. Because melee influence basically does the exact same thing. So once you hit someone, that someone just gonna immediately spread the electricity around him. And this is why Xoris is so goddamn powerful, because you can hit, you know, other dudes, you know, enemies who are under you, above you, you know, on the other side of a wall. So Xoris is really good with this. The school should obviously be Zenuric. The main reason is energy regen, and also it's giving us ability strength if we are, you know, standing in the aura. And let's go over to the Helminth.
Hello, Helminth. How's the peristalsis? Good.
So hello, Helminth. I did not grab any ability. I did not replace any ability. Now you could go with Roar, I would say. So I would probably grab Roar. And I would replace Kullervo's third ability, since I'm not using that at all. But I did not grab any Helminth ability. Now Archon shard wise, obviously we should go with Tau Forged Violet Archon shards, all 5 of them. And you should focus on gaining melee critical damage. And this is why it's good actually to have 500 energy, because when my max energy is over 500, the damage boost, it doubles. So with this much, you know, crit damage, I'm just constantly in the red crit area. So you should definitely get violet crystals, which is difficult. It took me ages to get, but you know, it's a grind. And now let's get over or into the gameplay section. I'm not even sure how to properly show this build. I think the first thing I will do is... Actually, I'm going to do what am I going to do? I'm going to do a rebellion, because these ones are usually tough. So let's see how would I perform. Maybe even I'm going to solo it. So, you know, I don't have any help. I'm not sure which of the bosses are the easier or harder ones. I think this is the when I'm fighting against the Warframes, so let's go against the Warframes. I'm going to immediately enter the operator and just put down the little thingies. And I always try to upkeep the second ability, and the first ability should also always up whenever we can. We actually need to eliminate Arcane Captors, so I should focus on that, but I'm just an idiot. I'm not sure why am I even doing that. So as you can see, the reds are constantly up. I have constantaneous red crits, so it's actually pretty juicy. I'm just going to activate his daggers, because I think this is an excellent way to activate it. Whenever you are about to defend someone or something. But yeah, you can see how easily I'm grinding these guys down. Also, whenever I'm trying to, you know, use the first ability, I usually try to teleport in front of me. So, you know, I won't accidentally teleport into the abyss or, you know, kill someone. Because if I would teleport onto someone, let me just see. It takes so much time, you know, to actually activate the ability or the animation. It's really boring. So you should always try to teleport in front of you. Well, so it took me around 200 years to clear this. It definitely ain't fun doing this solo. But I'm just, you know, showcasing the strength of Kullervo in solo mode. Okay, we have a Warframe incoming, Commander Ember Prime, so let's quickly just you know, delete him into the ground. And you can see the Xoris makes really quick work of it, so nothing major. You can see why melee influence is so strong, because it just affects everyone around in a huge radius.
Deploy a Warframe. A commandeer tribe.
We have another Warframe incoming, Caliban. Let's see what we can do against him, and yeah, he's also going down rather quickly. So, you know, as I said, this build is so goddamn powerful that, you know, nothing can stop it. Nothing can stop this build. The only thing would stop it is any electricity resistance, which is, yeah, it would be bad. Now we are approaching the final boss section. So I will also try to explain how Xoris works in this section. We can definitely use the fort here. So Xoris is rather easy, because, you know, I hold E, and as soon as I can throw it, I will just throw it. And when so there is definitely some practice in it, but you will feel it, you know, when to explode it. And with the middle mouse, I'm pressing down the middle mouse to explode Xoris, and the explosion deals a huge damage, as you can see. It's so big, and, you know, Kullervo is unkillable here. So if I cannot complete this, I always bring in Kullervo, because you can see how easily I deal with everything. Make sure the second is up, and that's it. So yeah, we are holding E, throwing it, and exploding. E, explode. E, explode. But yeah, it takes some practice. It takes some practice. I think this was a pretty good showcase. I'm not sure what else can I show, but whatever I would show, it would be the exact same. So you could see how goddamn strong Kullervo is. He's unkillable. He has, you know, insane amount of damage. So whatever content you do, unless you come up against electricity resistance, then he will struggle significantly. But in every other case scenario, it doesn't matter if it's Arcane Hunt, solo mission, whatever you do, he will just tear everything apart. Especially with his new, you know, the volatile recompense mode, since that made him essentially immortal. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. If you want to see a different build, a new build, make sure to comment down below. What would you like to see? What were your thoughts? What could I have, you know, changed in this build to make it even more stronger? And thank you for your support. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like, and see you in the next one. Bye.
Oh, sorry. Artists will play with the volume off.
Yeah, so let's, you know, turn down the volume.